After being in the financial service industry for over 3 decades, being a entrepreneur for almost 35 years, it's hard to believe that now, but the gray hair is really gray silver. It's not blonde like it used to be. But the reason why I wanted to spend a few minutes with you here is to focus on conveying to you why I'm in the industry, why I came in the industry, and specifically why I'm focusing on helping individuals like yourself look at being able to convert a, a death sentence. Mortgage is what they call a death pledge. It's French, two words, mortgage engage. So, how is it that we have allowed this to happen for the last 100 years, and everybody lines up to basically stick their head inside of the noose and then twist and flail in the wind for 3 decades while they're paying off a mortgage, which means they're actually paying the bank a home in addition to the one that they're paying for their own self in the form of interest. And they have to give the bank, the mortgage company, that interest first and up front before they get to own theirs. So it's something that we've gotten used to, not just as Americans, but all individuals throughout the world. And it's just something that we've decided, hey, that's just how things are. And not enough people ask the question is there a different way? Well, I'll have to say that even I'm one of those individuals because I've had many mortgages on homes that I've owned over the years. And even with the fact that my earliest recollection of sitting in a horrible event in a bankruptcy attorney's lobby with my sister when I must have been maybe 10, and my sister was probably 7, almost 8, and we were losing our home in East Texas. My father worked for the post office after he came back from Vietnam after being in the Marine Corps. And then my mother was a school teacher, and we just did not know, had no one giving us good guidance. And I just remember hearing my mother shriek when I didn't know what was going on. I just knew that they were in that room with that attorney, and my sister and I were sitting there. And of course, we were, very frightened. But, I got a chance to kind of shadow my dad, and I saw the desperation of him doing everything that he was supposed to do right, and yet it didn't come out right. We lost our home, and we had to lease for a number of years until we were able to readjust things and get things back around. So, today we are in the United States. We're at a stage where we are in more debt than we've ever been, ever in the history of the world. And credit's just been given out, not just because of the COVID environment and because of cheap money, because of all the stimulus, but here we are at a unprecedented valuations on our home properties, on our residences. And yet we're still sitting here with so much debt, we just feel like we're just shackled. And so what can we do and how can we do it? And that's really what happened. I was speaking at a financial conference a number of months ago, and one of the other speakers on the platform spoke the day after me, and I was so intrigued by what he said. I've been around the financial industry for, like I said, for over 3 decades, so I've pretty much heard everything. I don't know everything, but I've heard about most everything. And I had never heard about a way that you could accelerate your equity by using a thing called accelerated banking and be able to increase the cash flow without having to use any additional funds and be able to pay off that death pledge, that mortgage, in 2-3 times as fast as normal. And that means taking a 15 to 20-year note and paying it off inside of 10, sometimes inside of 7, and oftentimes inside of 5. So I met this expert, and that's what I really love meeting, is people that ask the question that no one else is asking and say, why is it the people that are well connected and I guess wealthy, they don't have the same type of boundaries that everyone else has? And it's not necessarily because they have the capital, it's on the way to developing the capital. They had this unique thing about asking those other questions, which is there a better way? Is there a different way? And what if there was a different way? What would it look like? When you start asking those questions, then solutions start kind of taking shape right in front of you. And so I was able to meet Jason Nightingale, and he's been running a company now since he started asking these questions back in 2017. He took what was left of a 14-year mortgage on a 30-year note. So he had 14 years left, got frustrated, got past frustrated, and kept digging, and ended up finding the Australian offset method that has now migrated from Australia into the UK, into Canada, and now in the United States over the last 5 to 7 years. And now there are thousands of individuals, homeowners, that are sitting here debt-free or on their way to being debt-free when they had maybe 2 decades left And like in Jason's own personal case, he took the 14 years remaining, got rid of 11 years, paid off his mortgage in less than 3, and saved himself 170,000. And after that happened, that started his mission. That's the same kind of thing that I've done my entire career. Is you find these things that are breakthroughs, and you can't not share it with other people because it's just something that you love about freeing other people from the shackles of following what everyone else has done, following the status quo. So that's why I'm here. That's why I connected with Jason. I went through and actually did an entire research document. That's the book that you've probably already downloaded. It's 75 pages, 8.5 by 11. It's a lot of technical stuff. It connects all the dots for you, because I basically gave you every link about doing all the financial research, all the due diligence to understand how did this work and how does the math work, even though it looks like magic. When you put the math together and you put the spreadsheet on it, you understand the difference between an open-end and a closed-end note. And you understand what paycheck parking is and cash flow stacking and how to use float to your advantage so that you're banking using your money instead of letting your banker and the mortgage company constantly use your money for their benefit. So without getting into all the details, that is the reason why I'm here. I've always been in the financial service industry because I saw it devastate my family. So I got into it early. In fact, if you want to call it enlisting, I enlisted into the financial service industry and the financial service core very early, right when I was going through college at age 19, 20. And I just thought it was something that I needed to do to help other people understand this thing that my family had suffered gravely for, and families still today, maybe even you, are suffering because no one's giving you good advice. And so that's what I'm here to do, is help you with that advice, give you proven system. Over 1,500 individuals have already walked through this system. They have been able to greatly reduce the amount of debt load. They've got better cash flow on a month-to-month basis. And now they have a paid off date where they know that they're going to wake up one morning in a very near future, in maybe 3, 5, 7 years, and they're going to be holding that mortgage deed, and it's going to be paid in full. And they're going to own the deed. You're going to own the deed to your home. And that's the morning you're going to wake up, no debt, no auto loans, no medical hospital bills, no credit cards, no student loans, and no death pledge. You're going to own that. And at that point, that's when your life gets to become free. You get to choose whether you want to continue working for that boss that maybe you don't like. You can decide to open your own business. Maybe you want to travel. Maybe you want to give to a great cause that you've never been able to do before because all your money had to go to debt. That's why I'm here, to help you make those decisions and to show you the pathway that thousands of other individuals have used that ask the question, is there a better way? And if there was, what would it look like? Looking forward to working with you and showing you Jason's system.